home of the Bobcat, now owned by Dosen. I could tell you stories about large equipment manufacturers and millions of dollars of business, but I'm not going to tell you those stories because we all know those. What I think is not as well understood about the Export-Import Bank is the assistance that they give to the moms and pops out there who are being innovative, who are being creative, and who maybe have a product where the market in our country is limited. And they're looking around for help. And I want to tell you a couple stories about those kinds of businesses because I think too often we hear this, it's corporate welfare, it only helps, Boeing, it doesn't do anything for anybody else. But we know, those of us who have worked in this area in the past and continue to work in this area, we know how critical it is to the small business entrepreneur in our state. We have a small business company that makes portable aluminum ramps, handicap accessible ramps, and they've been able to access international markets because of the EXIM Bank. They're in London's Buckingham Palace and really all across the world. And when they were asked about the significance of the EXIM Bank to them, they say 1/3 of their business is backed by the EXIM Bank. And their CEO doesn't like to think about what could happen to his company and his employees if the EXIM Bank is not reauthorized. He said, because we're a small business, the EXIM Bank closing would have a material effect on us. We also have another business in Fargo, North Dakota called Spectrum Aeromed. Spectrum Aeromed was at some point struggling until they saw that maybe they didn't have as big a market in our country and they needed to look overseas. But I want to read what the current chair of Spectrum Aeromed had said. He said, when a buyer wants terms other than what we normally provide, that's when we use the EXIM Bank. It lets us do deals that we wouldn't otherwise have been able to do. As the bank is up for reauthorization, he recognizes the value of the bank and also to the taxpayers. And once again, to Maxine's point, it's the only governmental entity that returns money to the Treasury. I urge Congress to reauthorize the EXIM Bank so I can continue to grow our small business and shrink the budget deficit. I think we need to tell more of those stories, and if you're one of those stories, you need to tell that story. Because so often, the small business work that's being done, we never know which one of those small businesses could be the next big thing. And if we don't give them access to that 95% of the consumers that live out of this country, we are foolish beyond belief. We will make a foolish, foolish decision for the future of American employment, for the future of the American economy. I just can't say it strongly enough. This is a critical tool in the entrepreneur, inventor, small businesses toolbox that gives them access to markets that they would not otherwise have.
Thank you for those stories.